I have an idea. Here's one for you. Tonight, here's your homework for tonight. As you're laying in bed and you're about to pass out and fall asleep, imagine something shakes your foot and you wake up and there's a demon next to you. Okay, maybe angel or a demon. I'll let you tell me which one it is in just a minute. So this entity is standing next to you and tells you that you've died. And where you're existing now is the afterlife. And here's what the afterlife is like. You're gonna go back and you're gonna watch every single second of your life. From the second you were born until the second you die. Third person watching your whole life. And you're gonna watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it. And then when it ends, you're gonna do that again. And then again. And then again. And that's for all of eternity. You're gonna watch your life. Every success, every failure, every chance you didn't take, every thought you're going through, every feeling you're going through, but you're watching it from the outside. And so I wonder at that point, well, you can tell me, if that was your eternity, to have to watch your life on repeat for all of eternity, is that a demon or is that an angel? Yeah, I don't know. Like, how many of us would sit there and go, that's my eternity? I have to watch my own life on... Dude, you are a demon from hell. I wonder how many of us would look at that and say, wow, you'd watch your life for the first time, just like that very first time, and afterwards you would say, that was my life? Again. Let's watch it again. And then if you ask, like, why would you end segregation? What's wrong with segregation? Now we're getting into morals and values and virtues, the things that start to make life a bit more worthwhile. Because survival is just eat, drink, sleep. If you have those things, you can survive. People in concentration camps were surviving, but they weren't flourishing. Flourishing is different. What's that? Yeah, living. And that's typically what we mean when we say living. It isn't just to be alive in a biological sense, but to really live, to have experiences, to have like a life that we look back on and we think of, that was really worthwhile. Anybody familiar with Maslow's, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs? They still teach you that? Yeah, in short, it's this, I won't go over too deeply, but it's this pyramid, you can look it up, and it talks about the different levels of human existence. And the very base one is seeking like food and shelter. So in other words, the very most basic things of that. After that, we're seeking security. So once we have enough food and water, now we need to feel secure, because it doesn't really matter how secure you are if you have no food. So you have to have food first, and then you're secure. And it goes all the way up to this thing called self-actualization. In other words, to the kinds of things that we think of as making life worthwhile. Were you everything that you could have been? Did you have the opportunity to maximize your talents? Did you have the opportunities to become, what you could become, to become better? And then, so it's this kind of hierarchy that's there. And you realize when you look around the world, I mean, in no other time period has this even really been a possibility. For most of human history, we kind of stopped right there. And if we stop right there, that never gives us the opportunity to do things like build a society, to seek equality, to develop computers, electronics. All of that only happens when we have free time. And we only have free time when our most basic needs are finally satisfied. We can't develop computers, we don't have the brain power until we have the food that allows us to power our brains to be able to do something like that. And so, I wasn't sure if they still talk about it. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, others. All right. So he can't be a pessimist. Why? Because he's alive. What's the worst thing that can possibly happen to you in your life? Death. Yeah. And guess what? That's going to happen. No matter what you do. It's the ultimate statistic. You can look this up. I'm not making this up. 10 out of 10 people die. Nobody, I know, right? It's baffling when you think about it. Everyone dies. Everybody's born. Everybody dies. We have those two things in common. It's the things that we do in between those 2 points that define us as the person that we are. Now, you're right, Kim. He's using these words like can't, forced. Even starts off by referring to pessimism. Even though he's saying he's not a pessimist, because a big part of what makes life worth living is the feeling that we have the opportunity to decide things for ourselves. When we're little kids, especially little kids, we like having people tell us what to do because it gives us direction in life. And then as we start to get older, we hate being told what to do. Even if what we're being told to do is really, really good for us, we still will resist it, will rebel, because we want to be able to take control of our own lives. Because we recognize that a big part of having a valuable life is one that you actually get to author yourself. You'll notice, for example, why don't I come around and stand above you when it's time to work? Why aren't I over there going, hey, come on, get to work. Come on, put that away, do this. There's a reason for it. Because you know better. Yeah, because you know better. But also, it doesn't tell you anything about yourself. If you take this class and you get an A, because I'm standing above you all the time, come on, get this done. I believe in you. You can do this. Come on, come on. So you're forced to do your work, and then you get an A. You didn't really earn the A. You show that you were capable of earning the A. But I got news for you, man. Everybody in here is capable of earning an A in this class. This class is not hard, man. This class is pretty easy. But here's the question. If I'm not standing above you, who are you? At that point, you get to author your life yourself. Am I the person who gets to work and engages these ideas? Am I the person who does exactly the opposite and actually engages in the things that are bad for me to do? You know, I respect you enough as people, as human beings, to let you make your own decisions. As long as you're not being obnoxious and loud and distracting people around you who are trying to make positive decisions, I let you make your own choices. But just make sure that when you make those choices that you live up to them. You know, I had a student, another period, who was sitting at his desk, didn't have anything out, was just on his phone. So what do I do? What do I tell you I do? Mark you absent, yeah, because you're not really here. There's no hard feelings. I'm not over there getting mad at you. And it's funny, when I do that, hard feelings will be aimed at me, even though you're the one who's doing it. But if you've got someone who's always forcing you to do something, you recognize that it's not really your own life. It's a life that somebody else is forcing on you. And that's why as little kids, we're okay with it, because we don't really have this idea yet of self-actualization. We don't have any idea about what I could be, what my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations are. Now, some of you, I imagine, want to go in some area of life, but you've got friends or family who are really, really encouraging you to go into a different area of life. Several years ago at the college, I had the student who was complaining because he really, really, really wanted to play the flute in an orchestra. That was his passion. He goes home, he spends all the time playing the flute, but his parents wanted him to become a pharmacist. So they're pushing him into becoming a pharmacist. And I spent a lot of time talking to him. And so one day he came in, he said, Dr. Scanlon, I've made a decision for my future. And I go, what's this? And he says, I'm going to do what my parents want and become a pharmacist. But in my spare time, I'm going to play the flute, and I'm going to see if I can make it into an orchestra playing the flute. Can you make it into an orchestra practicing part-time? These are professional musicians, man. It's never going to happen. But his whole thing was, he thought he was making some kind of a statement of rebellion because he was, going to practice on the weekends or whatever. But let's just say he becomes a pharmacist. What are his parents looking out for? They're thinking about their own lives. I wish that I had the financial security that becoming a pharmacist would give you. That what they want for him is what they think is the best for him. Is it the best for him? I don't know. None of us knows. That's the thing. But whether it's the best for you or whether it's the worst for you, it doesn't matter unless you've chosen it for yourself. Until you've actually chosen a life and you're able to embrace it as your life. Like I said before, life is suffering. We don't get to choose not to suffer, but we can choose what we suffer for. That's freedom. And you think about people who get to the end of their lives. Oh, here's a better one for you. I have an idea. Here's one for you. Tonight, here's your homework for tonight. As you're laying in bed and you're about to pass out and fall asleep, imagine something shakes your foot and you wake up and there's a demon next to you. Okay, maybe an angel or a demon. I'll let you tell me which one it is in just a minute. So this entity is standing next to you and tells you that you've died. And where you're existing now is the afterlife. And here's what the afterlife is like. You're gonna go back and you're gonna watch every single second of your life. From the second you were born until the second you die. Third person watching your whole life. And you're gonna watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it. And then when it ends, you're gonna do that again. And then again. And then again. And that's for all of eternity. You're gonna watch your life. Every success, every failure, every chance you didn't take, every thought you're going through, every feeling you're going through, but you're watching it from the outside. And so I wonder at that point, well, you can tell me, if that was your eternity, to have to watch your life on repeat for all of eternity, is that a demon or is that an angel? Yeah, I don't know. Like, how many of us would sit there and go, that's my eternity? I have to watch my own life on... Ooh, you are a demon from hell. I wonder how many of us would look at that and say, wow, you'd watch your life for the first time, just like that very first time, and afterwards you would say, that was my life? Again. Let's watch it again. And you couldn't get enough of it. You can think of your life that way. Every decision that you make, is it your own? Or is it a forced? Is it a can't? Because the worst of decisions we make, we end up being forced into places. If you discipline yourself, other people won't have to discipline you. If you discipline yourself, you get to make your own decisions for life. And maybe if that day ever were to come and you looked back from your bed at every second of your life, you could actually say that, like happily. Again, let's watch it again. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques? Happy Wednesday.